As we all know, GTA 6 is actively being worked on by Rockstar at the moment. But also, GTA Online is still being updated while that's happening. And over the last about year and a half or so, we've seen some very strange things in GTA Online that seemingly connect to GTA 6. I want to say it all started with this hot ring vehicle that was released about a year or two ago. There was this E-Cola livery where you can see, I have it circled here, it says go viral, and that exact same livery could actually be found in the leaked GTA 6 videos that came out back in 2022. There's been other cases though. More recently, we took a look at the vehicles from trailer 1 of GTA 6, comparing them to some of the new vehicles Rockstar released in GTA Online. They are very similar, if not the same. They even had the necklace that whatever that character on the right is wearing in the trailer, they released that into GTA Online. So it almost seems like they're using GTA Online to test some things for GTA 6. And in today's video, we actually might have some more little teases and some more testing going on in GTA Online for GTA 6. So let's go ahead and hop into the video and take a look at what exactly they are teasing. So last year, Rockstar released an update to the game, DLC, that basically added a bunch of cop cars to the game. And as you can see here, they do cost a lot of money in, typical Rockstar fashion. But these are all relatively high quality vehicles. And the two we're actually going to be taking a look at is this one, the Greenwood Cruiser. So if you want to take a look in your game, go ahead and buy this one. As well as the Gauntlet Interceptor, which again, very expensive. Maybe some of the other vehicles have this, but these are the two we're going to take a look at in this video. So if I pull out a flashlight here, make it a little bit easier to see. If you open up the trunk of, this is the Interceptor, the Gauntlet, I think. If we take a look in the trunk, this is completely stock. I have not upgraded this or anything, right? If we take a look in the back, you can see there's actually a handful of things in here. We have a little melee weapon, looks like boxes of ammo, some smoke grenades, some armor, as apparently some crazy stuff's going on. We got UFOs in GTA Online again? Probably, it's almost Halloween. But what makes this so interesting, of course, obviously, is that it's new. It's one of the newer vehicles they've added, but they've never really done stuff like this with vehicles. Most vehicles, there's like nothing in the trunk, unless you customize it. Maybe you could add like a speaker or something. But here we actually see usable weapons. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out the other vehicle, the Greenwood Cruiser, or whatever it's called. So again, we'll drive out. This is completely stock. There's another cop car's right there. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open up the vehicle doors. We're going to hop out. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to look in the trunk. If I can get a flashlight. This one has the same sort of stuff. The melee weapon, boxes of ammo, smoke grenades, but we actually see a shotgun. So we have an addition to what we just saw. We now have weapons in the trunk. I guess the melee thing's a weapon, but we have actual guns now in the trunk of this vehicle. And what makes this so interesting is this could be what GTA 6 looks like. Obviously, maybe with a lot better graphics, a lot more stuff going on, maybe not as bare bones looking. But in GTA 6, there is the theory and maybe a rumor that your weapon wheel will actually work like RDR2 instead of this weapon wheel here that we have in GTA 5. Like this one, we can literally carry, what is this, like 100 weapons or something? I have 11 SMGs and machine guns. I have 7 grenade launchers, RPGs, homing launcher, grenade launcher, minigun. Like I have all of these weapons, but people are speculating from the leaks, it's going to work a bit different in GTA 6. They're thinking it's going to be more like RDR2 where you actually have to go to your car to access some of these heavy weapons. Like pistols and stuff, you'll probably be able to carry, maybe as many as you want because they're smaller. But these heavier weapons, the miniguns, RPGs, maybe even some of the heavier machine guns, you'll actually have to go to your vehicle to get them. And that's kind of what it looks like is happening here. This is maybe some early, takes on this vehicle from GTA 6. And if you want to access, something like this shotgun, you'll have to call your vehicle, go to the trunk and get it there. And I want to show some concept stuff that I made from the leaks, because obviously I can't show the leaks themselves. And keep in mind, this is like, what, 2-3 years old at this point. So I'm sure the UI and stuff has changed and probably looks a lot better now. But this was their original plan for the weapon wheel. So you actually had like this inventory on your left-hand side for cigarettes, I guess for healing stuff, for pills. And then your weapons went on the right. You can see you have a pretty, standard and almost basic weapon wheel there, with only one assault rifle or heavy weapon slot. Here was another look from one of the other leak clips. This one you could actually see like 2 weapons in the middle, 2 smaller weapons, maybe for dual wielding, something that we did get to see in RDR2. Maybe they bring that to GTA 6. Looks like that maybe that's the case. We also have the duffel bag, but again, we also have only one sort of big weapon slot. And here is another look at a duffel bag menu, obviously very basic looking. This is kind of what it looked like in the leak, so I'm sure it'll look a lot better once the game comes out. But there was just like a big open area for, possibly a bunch of weapons, a bunch of stuff you could store in this loot bag, they called it. And maybe that is actually where all of your big weapons are. And before we get any further, I do just want to pose the question, does anyone think this is a good idea? Sort of going away from the traditional GTA system where you can have as many weapons as you want to a more realistic RDR2-esque system where you have to pick and choose. You can only have a limited number of weapons. And if you want to access some of those, better weapons, bigger weapons, you need to have them in your car. You need to actually go to your car and get them. Me personally, I actually love the more realistic approach here with some tweaks, because I don't think they need to go as, realistic as RDR2, but especially for online, if they keep this, it would be such a quality of life change, just because you wouldn't be getting killed with RPGs, or you wouldn't have people blowing themselves up with RPGs in the middle of a fight if they didn't have access to them, if they had to go to their car to get that RPG. You could actually just have normal gunfights with people. But we'll sort of stick to single player for now. I wanted to talk about some of the complaints and maybe some of the pros also that people have with a system like this that's more realistic. I think the biggest one is that some people say if they went this more realistic approach, you wouldn't actually have an incentive to steal other vehicles, which definitely makes sense, because if you steal other vehicles, you're not going to have access to your weapon stash. Now, maybe Rockstar could get around that by having, that loot bag, like we mentioned, that just automatically transfers or something when you steal a vehicle, or maybe it's something you have to manually do, or maybe they just say, screw it, any vehicle you're in has your weapon stash, and it's just like a game thing. It's not realistic at all, but it's just there. They could definitely do that. But again, there's some negatives to, all of those solutions. But that definitely is going to be, one of the big things is like, how do you incentivize people stealing vehicles if they're not going to have access to their weapons or the majority of their weapons? Another thing I've seen is, unlike RDR2, where, your weapons are on a horse, if you call your horse could always just walk up to you no matter where you're at. Unless they introduce some sort of self-driving vehicle, it's not going to work that way in GTA 6. So you can call a car maybe to you or close to you, but it's not going to be right next to you like a horse would be in RDR2. So that's another thing that would be kind of annoying to deal with if they went this route. But I will say on the positive side that this realistic weapon wheel system with a, trunk with your weapons, it would lead to some really cool gameplay situations. Especially if you can mod certain vehicles to have maybe bigger stashes, maybe a supercar, it can only store a couple of weapons. But if you want, if you're doing a mission and you want the heavy duty stuff, well, you have to trick out, some sort of truck or van, and then you have access to every single weapon, you can have access to. I think that also helps with replayability, because hopefully Rockstar gives us, the freedom of choice on how to complete certain missions. If you want to go in with just a pistol in your supercar or like a little assault rifle from your supercar, you have that option. But if you want to be fully decked out in like armored gear and miniguns, whatever, well, you have a van also that you can deck out, and you have that option as well. I will say it is known that Rockstar is trying to go a lot more sort of realistic or immersive with this game. I mean, one of the things that was in that leak trailer was actually like a mini map on your dashboard of your car where you could see your waypoint and how to get there. This was a recreation of basically that, but there's a lot more other immersive stuff, which I've talked about over the last, year or two from specifically those leaked videos. So it does seem like Rockstar is pretty on board with maybe going a more RDR2-esque route with the weapons in the game. But like I said, I think there's definitely a balance to be struck. I mean, I don't think like in GTA Online here, I don't think I want another game where you have access to like just a million different weapons. Number one, and I know you can customize this and, get rid of a lot of them, but it's a mess. It's just a lot fumbling through this. Like RDR2 was pretty nice because you had like 4 weapons that you could just go with. I think having that for GTA 6 would be pretty nice. And again, it would also just mean you'd have to think a little bit going into missions and going into certain situations on how to deal with that specifically. And also, I think it leads to a bit of fun. Like, imagine you're just in the swamps and you're like, oh crap, I don't have my car. I only have a pistol and I have to deal with all these animals, or if there's cops out there, or whatever the case may be. It's a little challenging as well. And I get maybe some people don't want that. They just want the standard GTA stuff. But for me personally, I don't mind Rockstar moving to this sort of weapon wheel system where your trunk of your personal car is very important. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.